So, what's up? What's up? Let's talk about this situation, this monstrous situation, this accusation. I have to put it like that because sometimes, the person who has been accused can possibly come back to countersue. L.A.Reid. Let's talk about this. ATL record label, Laface Records. You couldn't come to Atlanta at that time wanting a record deal without saying, I want to get down with L.A.Reid. Now, when I say get down, do business. Get put on. Get on the label. You got Usher. You got the likes of Pink. You got TLC. Who else? Michael Jackson done had some music produced. You rubbing elbows with the who's who of the ATL. People coming from far and near, because at that time it was known as the New Motown. So you wanted to get in these streets of Atlanta. You wanted to get down possibly with this record label. To even if you couldn't even be an artist, some people just wanted to rub elbows just to say, I work for Laface Records. Because I remember meeting some people from back in the day. I wasn't even of age. I wasn't even 18 when I used to go down to the ATL. And these people that was working for Laface Records, oh yeah, they were of age or what have you. And yes, I have heard some stories. So for me to hear, or just to hear of these rumors as such, or if they're true, just my opinion, all things alleged, I'm not surprised by anyone nowadays, and neither should you. For the price of fame, sometimes it has to be a cutoff, because not everybody understands either. No means no. Not everybody understands that. So for this lady and whoever else is speaking out to come along after this, or has said things in the past and wants to revive their possible case of an allegation, it's your time. It's never too late, especially with new laws coming into place. Don't matter if it happened 20 years ago. Know the laws, look into them. Your case, your voice deserves to still be heard if that is your personal choice. But let's talk about him. Music mogul L.A.Reid sued over S.A. claimed by former Usher Records executive. Antonio L.A.Reid, a Grammy-winning music executive known for helping launch the careers of Usher, Outkast, and Pink, has been sued by a former Usher Records executive who claims she was SA'd and retaliated against by Reid, who allegedly obstructed her career after she rebuffed further advances. In a lawsuit filed in New York federal court on Wednesday, Drew Dixon accuses Reid, who she worked under, stating in the early 2000s, of assaulting her on 2 occasions after she rejected other overtures. She alleged Reid responded by punishing the artist she had already signed, or by blocking the artist she attempted to sign, including Kanye West and John Legend. See, if you don't go along with what the agenda is, sometimes there are ones that feel that they sit in very high places, higher than high. Everybody want to be somebody. Some people want to be worshipped to a degree that if you do not go along with what the program is, what's already been stated, if you don't want to be a part of the crew, the clique, the understanding of what it is we do around here, Sometimes there's a punishment. The case follows accusations from Dixon made in 2017 that Russel Simmons, co-founder of Def Jam Recordings, hired her, and that Reid harassed her, forcing her out of the music industry. Simmons denied the claim. The same year, Reid exited from the top job at Sony's Epic Records after he was accused of misconduct by assistant Dixon, who contributed to hit songs from Whitney Houston. West and Aretha Franklin says her promising career was stalled due to retaliation and health issues she continues to suffer as a result of. According to the complaint, the first occurred in 2021 on a private jet with Reid, whose label Laface Records was a joint venture with Arista. On the way to a company-wide retreat in Puerto Rico, he asked her to sit next to him to go over materials for the presentation, and then he began playing with her hair, kissing her. Then there's some other activities that's being mentioned, but I am not going to read those. But it reads, without her consent, the suit states. After Dixon started to avoid Reid following the incident, she claims he started to retaliate by embarrassing her in front of others or otherwise being unprofessional. The suit alleges Reid assaulted her a second time the same year in her car, where he allegedly said the pair should review demos of an artist he was thinking of signing. The complaint states shortly into the ride, Mr. Reid, again without Miss Dixon's permission of consent, began to and kiss Miss Dixon, who squirmed and pushed him away as Mr. Reid's driver stared straight ahead. Blinders. I don't see nothing. Or this is the norm possibly when it comes to Mr. Reid. And it is my job to continue to get my check. And whoever that woman may be, we talking about Miss Dixon, I ain't in it. I just want to collect my check because this is just what it is. Possibly, allegedly, how some people do look at things. Don't want to be involved. So I'm going to stop my reading right there, but there is a part in here that I just want to, make clear again. As far as a few paragraphs down, the suit alleges battery, false imprisonment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, among another claim, for a crime of V motivated by her gender. The complaint, which does not name Arista Records, was brought under the New York Adult Survivors Act, which revived the window to bring misconduct claims for 1 year, regardless of the statute of limitations. That's a good thing. A lot of times, I do feel that a woman or a man or someone who has been assaulted in such a way does not want to speak out, whether it's under being embarrassed or feeling like no one is going to believe them, or feeling like they will be retaliated against, blackballed, won't be able to further pursue their career. What really gets me though is the person, the accuser, who allegedly could have done this like to some victims. How do you sleep at night knowing that you've not done this maybe like one time, maybe 2 times? How do you sleep at night? And if something like that was done to you, the person who is now allegedly victimizing people, and you know how that feels, why mess up somebody else's life? Now, last I knew of L.A.Reid, he married what Shirley and Ernesto referred to as a regular person who is or was a school teacher. Now, again, this was like many years ago, but at the same time, that doesn't always go away in people's minds. And sometimes it's like replayed. You know, I've listened to some stories of people who have shared their stories. And hopefully this will give fuel to more women, especially women of color, especially Black women, especially women, especially men, all to speak out, if that's what you feel the need to do. Because I mean, when you think of Atlanta, you think of having a good time, having a good party, you know, having good food around, just having a party, making the connections, having contracts signed. But at what cost? At what cost does this come with? You're looking at all these beautiful homes that people claim to live in, whether they rent in, whether, you know, they are paying a mortgage, whatever car they're driving, however they got the car due to an advance. You're meeting the writers, the producers. You're looking at all the equipment inside of the studio, if studios even exist at this point, because, you know, nowadays a lot of people are independent. It's like a facade though. It's almost like a game that you are potentially signing your soul away for what you do agree with. It's a time now more than ever to take a stand, that you don't have to go along with what is being sold or what a person is claiming they can do to change your life. And that goes on in a lot of different industries. It's not just the music industry, but because we are talking about this monstrous situation, we're gonna keep it on the music industry. So those who are trying to pursue something, be careful in the entertainment industry. Have a made up mind before you even take things too far. What are your boundaries? Where is the cutoff? When no means no, by whatever means. If you see things turning to another level, somebody offering you something extra to drink, take, where is the cutoff? You don't have to accept everything. And what type of location is this meeting taking place? At what time? Who's around? Who's all involved? Any surprises along with this? Is it a contract involved? Is this person encouraging you not to even have a lawyer involved, to your own lawyer to look over the contract? It's a dirty business from all aspects. But keep yourself covered. Keep your mind clear. Go to these meetings with the intentions of business is business. If you feel that it's not the right time, get on up out of here the best that you can. Have a exit game plan already in motion before you even agree. Because not all money, not all contracts, not all men, not all women are good people. People, a lot of times, is out for themselves. And they don't care who they got to bring in to the clutches to sign another one for something that you really wasn't even supposed to have been involved in. But because the mind got weak and because they sold you a dream, next thing you know, you involved and you done shoveled yourself in a situation that you done got too far, too deep. Talk to your kids. Be aware of what's going on. Talk to your nieces, talk to your nephews, talk to your cousins. Talk to your aunties, talk to your uncles. If you especially have that gift of common sense. You know, it's like nowadays common sense just done went out the doggone door for some reason. For the love of money. Again, at what cost? You know, some people can just talk a good game. And before you know it, they done painted the picture of not the right salvation that you should want to be a part of. Now, not everybody is out here trying to get somebody, you know, to do the wrong thing, but it's a lot out here whose minds that have been turned out and they want you on their team. I done met them. You done met somebody too along the way. And it comes a time when you just gotta walk away if you can. And if it's a story to tell, tell the story. Pass the story down on how you have protected yourself, how you have continued to protect your mind the best that you can, to stay in your right mind, to be able to make sound decisions. Because again, every day that we turn on this computer, our phones, any electronic devices, the TV, just out shopping and about, being at a restaurant of sorts, it's like these conversations and thoughts just be coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. And it's like, okay, when is it time for the reset? So that you can recognize, okay, this is on the up and up. Okay, no, I don't want to mess with this. This is even on the common everyday job. This woman that had filed this lawsuit against L.A.Reid, she talks about how she was encouraged how to dress when it comes to work, when it comes to showing up at the location. Be aware of that. The attire, in order to have this job, I have to wear what? A skirt to what length? Heels to what height? Lipstick. What? Hair comb like who? What? Gotta go to who? Nails looking like what? Perfume smelling like how again? The side of driving a car that what? Can I do this? Do I have this many kids? I'm not saying all of this was going on, but it was mentioned about how she was to dress. But there's certain, you know, little clues in there. And if you're not at that moment to be strong enough to speak out against it, don't ever think it's your fault as to why XYZ has happened. Because this right here, this life of SA, I just don't see it going anywhere. Long as we are here on earth, we're not always going to hear the good. The bad, a lot of times, will travel faster than the good. And sometimes they can just come out of nowhere before you know it. So when, you know, it's said you got to be prepared, you got to be prepared. And to know it's okay to walk away. Because what's for you is for you. And not everything is always for you. When you just want something so bad, thinking this is it, this is it. It's not always. So be of good courage.